Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I've got a special guest on here to start the video today. As you can tell, I'm in a bit of a different location. I am at my mum's house. I have been dog sitting this week and that's why I've got company for once. Don't I? You gonna say hi to the vlog? High five! So, well, okay. It has been such a gloomy week this week. Pretty much every day we have had rain, wind, like cloud. It's just been the perfect weather, to be honest. Start doing those spooky, cozy autumnal reads. I thought I would start a reading vlog of me reading my spooky, just autumnal reads. Some of them are spooky, as in like actually kind of a little bit scary. Some of them are more just like cutesy spooky. I feel like there's two genres of spooky. You've got scary spooky, cutesy spooky. I'm not doing horror in this video. That is to come. The book that I've started with is Belladonna by Adeline Grace. Now this is honestly giving... Can I help you, sir? This is actually kind of spooky scary and I wasn't expecting that. I started this yesterday, so I'll just flick to a little bit of footage that I got of that. It's just the perfect time of year to be reading this, like literally this sentence in itself. But leave they did down streets of cobblestone where the scent of cinnamon and apple lay thick in the autumn breeze. It's giving the perfect fall vibe. I love it. And yes, we are now not massively far in, to be honest. I'm on page 82. I've been so tired the last few nights, so I've read like really small amounts. But so far, I am really enjoying it. Like I say, it's actually really eerie in some places. I actually shut it yesterday just before bed and I thought, oh my God, I'm in this house alone. I actually don't know if I'm gonna have a teeny tiny struggle to get to sleep tonight. It's a gothic fantasy from what I can gather. The fantasy, I'm using the word fantasy loosely. It's obviously, it's not giving like epic world fantasy. It's just a book with supposed magical elements, you know. As far as I'm aware, there's no mystical creatures or anything like that, but it follows a girl called, I was going to say Belladonna, she's not actually called Belladonna, Signa, and throughout her entire life she's always had some kind of involvement with death. Everywhere she goes, every person she gets involved with, they end up dying. And she can't figure out why, but she can see death himself. She can see spirits of the people who have died, and basically comes to a point where there's nowhere for her to really go. She doesn't really have anyone left. They're all dead. So she ends up going to a big, I think it's called Thorngrove. Yeah, Thorngrove Manor, where she has, I think, they're loose relatives, I believe. Yes, they're her only remaining relatives. An aunt or an uncle? Something like that. Anyway, and she's going to stay with them. But obviously, how is it going to end the same way that it's always ended? That's what we're going to find out here. But yeah, there was already a trope in this. This isn't a spoiler, but this is something that I really hate. I kind of love to hate it, if that makes sense. In a horror book or a spooky book is when a person looks in a mirror and the reflection does something different. I can't. Like, I can't. That shit scares me. I hate that trope. And that happened in this last night. And like, I just, like I said, I wasn't expecting that level of eeriness from this. Like, I thought it was going to be a little bit dark and like obviously gothic and have those like really gloomy elements to it. But like the genuine scary element, I just really didn't expect it. And it really put me on edge for a sec. And I was like, oh, but I love that. I love that it's managed to do that to me because I just didn't think it was going to. Yeah, the concept's really cool. I love books that have death personified. Yeah, that is just such a fun element in a book, I think. So as I say, it's been so gloomy. It's getting dark so much earlier now, hence the artificial lighting. I think this is just going to be it for videos now for a while during the autumn winter months when you're working full time and you're filming outside of daylight hours. It is so hard to come by natural light. So it's still windy and rainy out, so I am going to get really cozy, and hopefully read a lot more of this. It's a big font book. We absolutely love to see it. Can you see that? Like, the font is so large, which I'm so here for. But yeah, I'm just hoping to smash out a big chunk of this today with this one over here, because clearly he just wants to get involved in everything. There we go. Yeah, straight in the lap. Hi everybody. Oh, he's just a baby. He's just a small baby. Let's go. Right, it's been a few days and I'm getting my way through Belladonna. I think I'm actually going to hopefully smash the rest of this out today, maybe a little bit tomorrow, but I'm hoping I can binge it. I think I've got like 140 pages left, so definitely doable because this reads really fast, and as I say, the font is huge. I'm still having a really good time with this. I've hit a bit of a bump in the road and it's actually really unexpected for me. I always really enjoy not just like a morally grey man, but a morally grey like ghoul or demon. What does that say about me? I don't know. But there is just something about it that kind of gets me, and I'm kind of sat for it. So as I say, this book involves Death and Signa, and obviously their relationship is starting to kind of develop. She's seeing Death a lot more. She knows how to kind of summon him. And obviously she's got some kind of gift that Death is interested in. He has never come across a person that has the gifts that she has, so they're seeing each other a lot. He's kind of giving her lessons and that kind of thing. Naturally the relationship is blossoming, but there was a part where it was starting to get a little bit intimate and they're like kind of crossing that line a little bit, and then it actually kind of icked me out. But I think it's because in this book, like, I don't know if that's going to change, but for now, he doesn't really have like a body or like a persona. He's just a shadowed figure. And whilst there might sometimes be like a glimpse of a hand or like a strand of his hair or something, you don't actually have any idea of like an image of what he would look like as a human. So I don't know, I just had this image of just like, well, it was hard to imagine it actually, because, you know, she's like being like caressed or having this physicality with someone that kind of doesn't exist tangibly. I don't know, it was interesting, I don't know, but it actually itched me out more than I thought it would, because I thought I'd be really excited for that to happen. But obviously, depending on how the story continues to go, it might become something that I'm more excited about. I'm not sure. But generally speaking, there's also a plot in here, quite a large chunk of the book actually. It's kind of giving murder mystery. There's someone has died and someone else in the same family is dying the exact same way. So clearly someone is out there like orchestrating this, and Signa's trying to find out who is it and why, and with the help from Death and a couple of other characters. I didn't realise that was part of this book, and I've been really enjoying that because again, it's just the perfect spooky autumn vibe. Like, you literally could not pick a better read for when the weather gets gloomy and it's dark in the evenings. Like, it's really eating right now. I'm so glad I've picked this up at the right time. Yeah, other than that, there's not really too much else, too many other thoughts that I've got about it. Hoping to just sit with this later this evening and see if I can get it finished. I have a prediction of who I think is committing the murders or attempting to commit the murders. I don't know if I'm right, but also if I am right, I still don't really know their motive. They're just giving me a vibe. I feel like I am never right in these instances, so watch me get that so completely wrong. Hello, little bird. Care to dance? I'm sat. I am so sat. So I officially finished Belladonna by Adeline Grace, and yeah, I loved this. I really, really enjoyed myself. For me, it only got better from the last time I spoke to you. The last like 60 pages or so had some really great reveals, and like, I want to say plot twist, it wasn't really a plot twist, but like I say, like the reveals, like things that you've been waiting to find out got revealed. And I didn't see them coming, actually. Like I didn't, well, I saw it, and I didn't guess correctly. So, I mean, not shocked. Like I said, I never guess anything like that, ever. I will always get it wrong. But yeah, this had my jaw on the floor a couple of times towards the end. So I loved the ending. It all seemed like so wrapped up. And then the last couple of pages, it was like, huh, this is where book 2 comes in. And I loved that. I loved it. Obviously, I knew like something was going to have to be going on because this is a 3-book series. But yeah, it was just done so well. I feel like this was just such a well-written book, and a really, like, not a out of this world plot. Like I say, the majority of this kind of follow like a murder mystery kind of vibe, but just the atmosphere and you know, fantasy element, the magic that's going on was quite original in that sense. And I just loved the two married together. It was a really interesting, perfect, gloomy, atmospheric, gothic book. And so yeah, I'm 100% picking up Foxglove, hopefully sort of soon. If I can carry on with this series, that would be great, because like I say, there's pretty much no better time of year in my opinion. And if I haven't said, I think I've just got so excited and rambled, but I gave this 4 stars. I think I'm gonna settle with 4 stars. I wouldn't say it didn't give me like a 5-star feeling, and I don't feel completely obsessed. I feel like the relationship between Signet and Death, I would have just liked to have seen a little bit more of that once I managed to get my head around it, because I think I mentioned at first it kind of actually icked me out when it started coming to a head, but once I kind of got over that and started to understand it a bit better, I was really rooting for them too. And I feel like, ironically, I feel that's what most people know about this book, is the relationship with Death, but I feel like we didn't have enough of that. So that would have been, I feel like if we had more of that in this book, then it probably would have bumped itself up a bit more. But yeah, had a great time with this. Would highly, highly recommend it for this season if you haven't picked up yet. We are going to next move on to another similar vibe, a bit more lighthearted, I think, and a bit more fun than Belladonna. This is obviously like not spooky scary, but it is eerie, it is gothic and a bit darker. This is my next book, Assistant to the Villain, and I believe this is obviously also giving like spooky vibes, like because it's about a demon. It literally says like on the front, like sinister plots, evil plans, poison and puree, but like fun. Like this is giving fun, and I'm ready for that actually. So as I say, other than the fact that she is under the villain's employment, I don't really know anything about this book. I don't know what the main plot line is. I don't know the purpose. I've got a feeling it's going to be really, really fun. So, and it's quite a short read. I think it's maybe just over like 300 pages or so. But yeah, I think I'm going to have a really great time with this one. So this is the next book for my spooky reads. I'm not very far. I'm currently only on chapter 5. Having a fun time so far. The only thing that is really struggling to let me fully enjoy this right now, and it's so annoying because it's not even the book's fault, is how small the font feels to me. I don't know if I've just recently read large font books. This, to me, that writing feels tiny, and like I hate it when formatting actually stops you from enjoying the contents of the book, because like I say, I don't think it's the book's fault. Like so far everything seems just really fun and like funny, and like you can't take it seriously because it's just so wild. But I'm struggling to like fully immerse myself because I feel like it's taking me twice as much to really focus on this book, which is ridiculous because this book is not hard to understand or read at all. Like I say, it's so unserious. So yeah, that's a shame. I'm gonna try and binge as much as I can tonight though. Been a few more days and I'm trying to get my way through Assistant to the Villain. It is taking me so much longer than I thought that it would, but I'm just over the halfway point now. And to be fair, like I've sat down to update you, but I don't 1000% know what to really say. It's not great, but it's not horrible. It's just good. It's just okay. It's entertaining me, which is kind of what you want from a book. So if I haven't said already, it follows Evie, who basically takes on a job as assistant to the villain to help support her family. Her dad's sick, her sister's only 10, obviously she needs education, all that good stuff. And that is the premise of the book. She works for the villain, he does obviously villainous evil things, and then she starts to develop feelings for him and he starts to develop feelings for her. I have to say, obviously, like I say, this isn't a long book. This is, I think, 340 pages. And they still haven't done anything yet. So it's definitely a slow burn romance. I don't think they've even really got close to doing anything. They just have these thoughts and feelings about the other person, but they don't really act on them. A book of this caliber should be quite quick and easy for me to read because it is just so lighthearted and funny. But like, I feel like this is I feel like I'm sitting down for chunks of an evening to read this, and it's just taking forever to get through it. Which again, I reiterate, like, the words are so small and it just takes way more brain power for me to read it, and it's just such a shame, because would I be enjoying it slightly more if it didn't feel like it was taking forever to read? Maybe, because I know that it shouldn't be taking forever to read. Like, it's not that kind of book. But so far, I'm enjoying Evie's character. Like I say, she's just like a fun little sprightly thing. I do find it bizarre though how like she was just living an ordinary life. Like I say, kind of a bit of a saviour for her family, taking care of them, doing everything she can to support them. And then she starts working for the villain. Obviously he offers her like a very generous pay slip and benefits, whatever. But all of a sudden, like, she is so down for all this really shady bad shit that he does, and like encouraging, to be fair, of it, almost as evil thinking as he is, which for me is so random, because I'm like, surely from your past and your background, like, how have you just suddenly become so up for doing all this bad shit? Like, I don't know, that seems very out of character. Like, we don't know her that well, but from how she kind of behaves and, like I say, the life that she lived just before working for him, it just seems like a very big character shift for her to be like just as evil-minded as he is and like so down for all this shit. Like, I don't know, it just feels a bit random, maybe a bit unrealistic. As I say, with these kind of books, I really know that there's no point taking anything seriously. Like, I'm literally reading a book about a human girl working for an evil villain in a cutesy little fantasy town. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's literally a character frog that holds up signs. That's his way of talking. Do you know what I mean? It's not a serious book, but yeah. So if you're looking for just a fun, very light-hearted palette cleanser, this probably would be great for you. But yeah, I'm hoping to finish it maybe tonight, either tonight or early tomorrow, because I still have one more book I want to read for this video. But the next book I think is even shorter than this maybe, and I think it will be a quicker and easier read. So I know I have no plans this weekend, so I love that for me. I think I'm just going to get as cozy and autumnal as I physically can. Maybe not even take these pajamas off. For now, I have to get ready for work, and hopefully when I get back, we will be done with this. Or close to, who knows. I've got 120 pages left to read. That probably will take me quite a long time. Let's try and finish this. Real serious. Wow. Don't know what to say to that. Oh, she went there. She went there. Kind of eats, actually. I finally got around to finishing Assistant to the Villain early this morning, and as you saw, the ending actually kind of had me shook in a good way. I really wasn't expecting it to take the turn that it did. Honestly, I was kind of just expecting like a quick, easy, cutesy wrap up, but we didn't get this in this book. I have really struggled to settle on a rating. I was thinking between either 3.5 or a 4. I think I'm gonna firm the 3.5. The 4, I think I was just thinking, because I really did enjoy the last 30 pages or so, with like the plot twisty reveal we kind of got and the way that it genuinely ended. I was so impressed, but then I was like, oh, I don't know if it's that amazing for me to stick with the 4-star. I think generally it hits a 3.5 for me. Mostly because this book was the fun time that I wanted. It was like, it had that perfect vibe for autumn. Just, it kind of reminded me, this is going to sound really random, because I don't know why it reminded me of this. I don't know if it makes any sense. But you know in Shrek 2, with the factory that the fairy godmother runs, because obviously she is like the villain in Shrek, for some reason it was giving me just that kind of vibe where like the villain was like the fairy godmother, like running this operation of just all of his little workers. And obviously like in Shrek 2 you just have like the giant cauldrons full of like potions. I don't know, because I feel like that is not, we don't really see that in this book, but for some reason just that atmosphere it gave was very similar to me. I don't know if anyone's read this can kind of see where I'm coming from with that, but anyway, I feel like I did enjoy the plot, and as I say, the end part was really good, but up until the end I wouldn't say I was like crazy invested in the plot, because essentially we're spending a lot of time in this book trying to find a rat, shall we say, amongst the workers for the villain. That like there's a traitor basically, someone is trying to get him, like kill him, sabotage the whole business, like that kind of thing. I wasn't that bothered in a way. Like it was fun, I was following along, but like it wasn't something that I felt really strongly towards. Them two as a romantic interests though, I wish we got more of that in this book. I feel like it is marketed in a way where you really think it's going to be the forefront, but the romance in this is 100% a subplot, because it literally says it's a laugh out loud fantasy romance and their unlikely love story, but there really wasn't that much romance, and there wasn't a love story. There were crumbs of romance, and when I say romance, I just mean not even them being a couple, but just you get to see their sort of inner thoughts towards each other, and every now and then they'll do something or say something that like indicates that they're obviously really into the other person, but nothing actually comes to anything in this book. But I feel like we don't really get much aside from that. I was actually so into the villain as a character, and I think I would have really enjoyed the dynamic between him and Evie had we have got more of it, because yeah, I'm so sat for that, and 100% will be reading the next book in this series to, fingers crossed, get more of it. This would have been a much higher rating for me if we had, because that for me was the one part of this book that I was truly sat for. So the last book I want to read in this video, and honestly I think I could smash this out in one sitting if I wanted to. I don't know if I have the restraint for that today, because I just seem to be so distracted. It's already so much later in the day than I wanted to start this book, and I've pretty much done nothing. But that is The Kiss Curse by Erin Sterling. I've had this on my shelves since the beginning of this year. I loved The Ex-Hex. I read it years ago. I gave it 5 stars. It was just the perfect vibe, the perfect easy story. Witchy, romance, fun, quirky. I was just obsessed with it. So it's time to get back into this little small town. I'm so excited. Also, it matches my new nails, and I'm low-key obsessed with that. Yeah, I don't actually know what this is about. I know that it follows the friend of the first book. I think they're just friends. I don't think they're related. I don't remember. It follows Gwyn, and all I do know is that she owns a like really cute witchy trinkety shop that is in the small town of this series, and naturally there's going to be a romance, so I can't wait. I've got Adam's Family on the TV. It's just me in the house for now, so I think it's time to get cozy and enjoy myself. about time I updated you on this because I'm kind of ploughing through it. I've got 100 pages left pretty much, and I think I'm just going to binge the rest after this. So The Kiss Curse, I don't think I've told you guys what it's about, and it's basically, like I say, it's the second book in, I don't know if it has a name, this series, but the X-Hex series, shall we say. This follows the cousin of Vivian, who was our main character in the first book, and she's running her witchy trinkety shop, as I have mentioned, but the town that they live in is like notoriously kind of owned by a family of 3 brothers. One of them is with the character from the first book, and the second one, the oldest brother, he doesn't live in this small town, but he is coming to live in the small town. He owns a pub elsewhere. It's not doing very well. He's fed up of just trying to keep this dead-end business alive, so he gets rid of his pub and he comes to Graves Glen and opens up his own shop. So there's like instant rivalry between Gwyn, our main character, and Wells, who is the male in this book, and that's it really, with a side plot of something with the magic is not quite right, so they're trying to figure out why and where that's coming from. So ultimately it is just super witchy, super cozy, enemies to lovers or rivals to lovers, if you will. Gwyn was never a fan of Wells because she knew him in college when they were younger. So there's a bit of tension between them, but obviously not just animosity, if you know what I mean. Yeah, there's really not much to say about it. It's just the easiest, cozy, spooky autumnal read. So I'm gonna, like I say, hopefully just finish reading it now. I'm on page 187. This is how much I've got left, but it reads so quickly. So my little Halloween blanket and binge the rest of this. Did in fact manage to binge The Kiss Curse yesterday in all its glory. Literally pretty much got this done in 2 sittings. It is so easily bingeable, and I feel like I've said this for every book in this video, but perfect for this time of year. I feel like I have killed it with the spooky autumnal reads this time around, and I am settling on a very comfortable 3 stars for this. There was nothing bad about it, and there was nothing sensational about it. It was just a fun little filler, if you will, book to set that vibe. You require no brain power to read. It just makes you feel good. So no complaints on this whatsoever. I would absolutely love Graves Glen to be a real place. Like, I would happily visit the town that this book takes place in, because it kind of makes me think a little bit of like Salem in America, where I've seen pictures of like all of their shop fronts being obviously all like witchy and spooky, because that's kind of what the town is known for, and I would sell my soul to visit. So this gives me that exact same vibe. So if you are watching and you've been to Salem or you live in Salem, I am so jealous. But yeah, I feel like we've done really well with our reads in this video. We've got a 3-star, a 3.5 and a 4. So technically we've progressively got worse as the video's gone on, but I enjoyed them all. There wasn't a single one that I didn't have a good time with, really. It was obviously just the feelings that they gave me and the level of entertainment I got from the books. So Belladonna definitely was the standout for me, and I, like I say, want to get my hands on Foxglove as soon as I can. I also just can't wait to have a set of these gorgeous books on my shelves. I mean, I do prefer the hardcovers. I think the hardcovers are way more pretty, but even so, like, this is really, really nice. And I don't actually think I know what the paperback looks like, or if there even is a paperback yet. Are they still in hardback? I don't know. I need to look that up. Also, just love how they're all purple. Why is that such a vibe? I'm obsessed. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of these, or if you're planning on reading any of them and what your thoughts are. I hope this has helped you to find or encouraged you to pick up a book to get you in the spooky, scary mood. If you did like this video, then please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you next week with a brand new one. Bye friends.